Code Afric. Unlock the future.
Alright guys, welcome back to this beautiful and awesome lesson. We are moving forward, and on our previous lesson we were able to create this members mockups here, and it is looking awesome. Now we are moving forward. We are going to create this section called the review. That is the testimonials, and also it has a nice carousel. Okay, you can see that it slides nicely, and we are going to do this with the help of HTML mockups, CSS3, and also Bootstrap. All right. Now, if you don't want to waste much time, like, we can probably come to the Bootstrap official website where you type getbootstrap.com. It will bring you to this landing page. Then we come to get started. When I hit on get started, then we come to this section. We want the components. Then we hit on carousel. Carousel is here. Carousel. Now, when you scroll down, we want something like this. We want something like this. Okay, we can see that the carousel spin nicely. Okay. So if possible, you can grab this code, then you insert it in your project, then you make your changes and modify some things, and you are good to go. Like I promised, I want us to build everything from the scratch, so we are going to type and do all this thing by ourselves without copying this code. All right. Now, if you're ready as I'm ready, let's dive in. All right. So now let's start with the comments. Okay. And again, comments are your friends, so you have to fall in love using comments. Okay, it will help you a lot. All right, so testimonial starts here. Now let's begin with a section tag, and let's create a class. And again, Bootstrap is about classes. We call it testimonial. I would like to give it an ID. Okay, so later you understand the reason why I'm giving it an ID. Okay. Okay, ID of a testimonial. Now let's create a container. And again, container is just a wrapper that makes your project responsive. Anything you put in the container becomes responsive. And we have a container fluid and we have a container default. Okay, so this is the container default. Now, container always comes also with a row. Now let's work with the grid system. So I'll give it column MD medium screen, then say 12. When we are on a laptop screen, then it should cover the full width of the screen, which is 12. And I'll give it a predefined class in Bootstrap for test center. Okay. Inside here, I will put some line break, okay, which is the BL tag, to create some extra margin. And here, I will need this one. I will need this review. Where is it? I will need this review, okay, this one. And it comes with an underline here. So let's go ahead and work on that. All right, so I'll give it an H2. And inside the H2, I would like to make it bold. So I'll use the B tag, which is bold. Then I will specify my reviews. Okay, something like this. All right, now I would like to give it a class. I'll create a div with a class, and I will call the class subtitle or subheading. And inside this subheading, I'll create another div with a class. I'm giving the class that I have not defined it yet. I will later define it. Border button, okay, something like this. And I'll use this border button to specify the other line here. Okay. All right. So moving forward, I'll come here, then I'll put some line break here. BL tag 2. Okay, then I'll create a div with a class and I'll name it row. And inside this row, I'll create another div with a class. And here I'm working with column. This time, let me make it SN, which is the small screen. Separate screen size. Okay, then I'll give it 12. All right, so now here, I'll break it like this. And I'd like to put some line break here, the BL tag. Okay. And the next thing to work on is this one, okay, this indicators. And I will be using ordered list, which is the OL. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I'll do OL. Then class, inside this, I'll create a class which has been predefined already called carousel indicator. All right, so, and again, UL always work with what? LI. Okay, and in this LI, I'm going to specify, I'd like to specify some jQuery plugins. So I'll do data, I'll target, data target, and I'm going to target this ID. Okay, so I will put this ID inside, which is the testimonials. Okay, carousel testimonials. So I remember it is an ID, so we will need an hashtag. like this. And again, I will need some jQuery indicators here. So I will do data, and I'll do slide, data slide 2. And from the first, I'll give it 0. Okay. And I will need this code 2 more times. Okay. So I'll copy this one. I'll duplicate the code 2 more times. All right, so now on the extra small screen size, we want it to be 2, and here medium will be 1, and this one will be 0. By then, I would like to make this one active. Okay, so I'll do class, then I'll say active, something like this. And again, if we save our project and check it from the browser, you can see that we don't have much. We only have the review, and some of the reasons are because we not put any background, so some of the things will not be visible. All right, so now we have to work on that also, but then I would like us to work on the image side. All right, now to work at the image section, I will just have to come here and I will call some predefined class in Bootstrap called carousel inner. Okay, so inside here, I also call a class item, and I'll make it active. Okay, then I will align all the items at the center, vertically center. Now that I make it active, the first one will slide, and when it's the first image slide, the rest will slide automatically. Now inside here, I'm going to call my image. Okay, so I'll do img, and I'll give it a source. Src is the source. Then I'll enter into my image folder. Then here I'll call the client one.jpg. Okay, that's the file extension. All right, and before then here I have to give it a class, a predefined class called center block. Okay, so this one would align my image at the center. Okay, you might ask, why am I not using img center? You can go ahead and use that one, but I prefer this one. I think this one will work better in this section. Okay, so center block. Now before anything, let's save it and check if we have anything at all. All right, now scroll down. Awesome. We have our image nicely inserted. Now the next thing to work with is like something like this. Okay, the name, the designations, and the rest. If you want to check from here, it can be the name and some other ratings here. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now for the name, I'll use h2. And with the name, the first name, I will say, and the first name, I will say Mr. Cassius, and I'll give it an h4. I'll say senior. I'll say senior engineer. Now I'll need the paragraph tag, which is the p tag, and inside this p tag, I'll copy this once and paste them in, and I will break it here. All right, so I would like to use this right up rather. Then I will break it here. Okay, there should be a line break. Now, before anything, let's check. And awesome, we have it something like this. Okay, nicely inserted. Now, if we check it well, you can see that we have our indicators here. Okay, they are here. Because of the background, you cannot see. But now, if you click on it, it will not do anything because we will not work on that. All right, now let's go ahead. I think we need this one. We need to duplicate this code 2 more times. Okay, you can see that this div, it ends here. Okay, so I'll highlight it like this. Then I'll duplicate it 2 more times. 1 and 2. Okay. Now I'm changing the image. Here will be 3 and here will be 2. And then also I'm taking off the active class, okay, because only the first one should be active. Automatically the rest will be sliding. So I'll take it like this. Now let's save it and check our project. And when we check, okay, you can see it is working though, but let's use the indicator and see if we can get a slide. It's not sliding. That means there's an error in our code. So let's go ahead and work it out. Let's read the code carefully. And if the slider have to do with the jQuery, okay, it works with the jQuery plugin. So if you are getting an error, we have to go straight to the place that we implement the jQuery stuffs. Okay, so starting from here. Okay, it's here. Okay. Please always be mindful about the spellings, okay? It's data, not date. Data. All right. Let's make this correction, okay? This place, the testimonial is S, not X. Testimonial, okay? And when you change it here, you have to also change it here. Testimonial. And again, testimonial, okay? There are so many errors in our code. It's typing errors, okay? All right, let's go on. Now we can change the name and the designations. Okay. All right, friends, at a stand now, there is still an error in our code. Okay, our carousel is not sliding. When we click on it, it's not sliding. So let's still work it out. Okay, let's debug it and find where the error is coming from. And because of the copy and paste, that one too counts. So you can see that when I click here, we don't have to get an extra div inside like this. So let's take that one out. And with the second image, the second section also, I think this place is cool. This place is okay. Then the third one, let's check that one too. Okay, we don't need this one too. This extra div. So please work it out in your project and see if you don't have that error. When you click on this like this, you don't need to, the closing div supposed not to be outside, like there shouldn't be any div inside. Okay, when I click on it like this, there shouldn't be any closing div inside like this. There shouldn't be something like that. So let's check it again. The first one, okay, it's close here. After the p tag, it close here. The second one, after the p tag, it close here, then a div at the back. And the third one too, we don't need this one again. Let's check it. Third. All right, we are still having issues with this side. Okay, when I click on it, when I click on the div, it's close here. It's supposed not to be so. So what I would like us to do is that I would like us to now that it's close here, I would like us to cut it. Okay, let's highlight here. Let's cut all. Then let's copy this one. This one starts from here and it ends here. Okay, so let's copy this one and use it to replace it. So something like this. All right, so now let's change the image to 3. Then let's change the name. Let's go through proper indentation. Okay, now let's check it. Awesome. All right, friends, to be able to build this side, we are not true. Okay, we have to come to this place. We have to add more functionalities. Okay, reducing the size of the image and also add the background and all that. Okay, so let's end here, come back on the next one and continue. All right, welcome back, friends. We are still on the testimonial section and we are looking at how to style it. Okay, and we'll begin with the images. Okay, so let's enter into our code. At this very section, we need to tackle this class, which is the carousel inner, and also the img tag. Okay, so we are going to use this one to style it inside our CSS. So let's dive in. Now, inside my CSS, let's begin with a comment. All right, now let's change this one. Testimonials, styles, and let's end it. Yes, okay. All right, now let's begin with a width and a height. And before then, let's call the class. And let's put some width of 150 pixels. And with the height, also, we do same. All right, so before anything, let's have a look. And wow, it's looking awesome. You can see that it has been nicely inserted. All right, now the next thing to do is that we have to give it a background. Okay, if you check from the original, it has a background. Yeah, it has a background like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And to do that, I have to come to the main class, okay, which is the testimonials. I have to reference this class and give it the background. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So you come here, then we do testimonials. Then let's give it a background. We put an image, okay, background image. Then we give the URL. Then we do dot dot. We are coming out from 2 folders before we can locate that image. Okay, now let's reference the image. It's img dash what is the image? I think it's review. Yeah, review.jpg. Okay. All right, now let's check it from the browser. We are not getting the results. Let's find out the reason. Let's go to our HTML. Oh, sorry, friends. The fault is coming from here. Okay, the error is coming from here. The section. You're supposed to close it at the very bottom. We didn't close it, so we bring it here. Okay, something like this. Now let's check it. Awesome. Now we have our nice background image being inserted. All right, now let's add more functionalities to the property of CSS. But the background size, let's give it cover and let's give it a background position. Then we give it center. Now let's do a background attachment of fixed. Now let's check it. Okay, we can see that our background has been well positioned as expected. All right. Now the next thing to do is let's work on the images here. Okay. Now we have to get a border around our image and also give it a radius. So let's go ahead and do that. You know, the image section is here, so I'll specify it from here. So from here, I'll give a border radius property of 100%. And I'll give it a border 3 pixels solid, and let's make the color white. All right, now let's check it. Awesome. All right, but then we don't have much. Okay, when you compare it to the original, you can see that the border radius is quite different. So let's go ahead and fix that. Now here, I would like to give a padding, let's say 5 pixels. Now let's check it. Okay, awesome. Now you can see that we have a nice border radius and comparing to this one. All right, now with the text, the review here, let's see what we can do with it. Now let's go ahead and change all the text color to white. And we can do that under here inside the testimonial. So let's give it a color of white. All right, now let's save and check. Okay, you can see that all the colors are white now. Now with our indicator, okay, it's not well positioned, and let's work on that one too. All right, now before we work with the indicator, I would like us to expand this, our background. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll come here, right inside my testimonial. I'll give it a padding top, and I'll give it 80 pixels. Then I'll give it a padding bottom, and I'll give it 155 pixels will do. Okay, now let's check. Okay, all right, it's looking awesome. All right, now the next thing to do is let's come back to our indicators. Okay, let's push it down here a bit. Okay, so we locate the class and we do that. All right, so inside our HTML, now we have to reference the testimonial class and also reference the carousel indicators. Okay, this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Inside our CSS, we reference the testimonial, then the carousel indicators, and let's give it a button. Let's give it a negative number of 60 pixels. Let's check. Before we check indicators, okay, add S to it, something like this. Okay, so now you can see that it has been pushed down nicely. Okay, all right. The next thing to do is the review. Okay, when you compare to the original, the review, the text is somehow bold and there's an underline here. Okay, so we will do that with the help of the class that we created in our HTML. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, now inside our HTML, we can see that we created a class here called border bottom. So this is the class that we are going to use. All right. Okay, so now let's go to our CSS and reference the class border bottom. Now let's give it a width. Let's give it a width of 80 pixels, and let's give it a height of 2 pixels, and let's give it a background color of white. Okay. All right, now let's save it and check. You can see it's here. Okay, and when you compare it to the original, it seems it's too large. Okay, so we have to reduce. Let's reduce it. I think 40 will do. Then let's give it a margin. Then we set it to 0. Then we make it an auto. Something like this. Now let's check. Oh, sorry. Not here. Okay, sorry. Here. We bring it here. Now let's change this one to the normal property. We change this one to 40 to reduce the height of the line. Okay. Now let's check. Awesome. All right, now so let's manipulate the text a bit. Okay, to get the accurate work. So when you check from the HTML, you can see from here that the text is coming from this class carousel inner. Okay, so you reference the carousel inner, then reference the P. Okay, the P tag, which is the paragraph. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so from here I will do carousel inner, then sorry, not indicator, it's inner. Then I'll do the P. Okay, something like this. Now let's give it a font size of 17 pixels, and let's give it a font width of normal. All right, let's check it. Okay, I think it's cool. Now we need to put some margin. Okay, in between here, this and this, we need to put some margin. like this. Okay, and I guess you know how to do it. All right, I don't have to worry that much. I only have to come to my HTML, and the very top I just put in line break. I think 2 will do. Okay, now let's save it and check. Okay, there's a gap, a nice gap here. Okay, all right, now coming back, let's give it a letter space of 1 pixels, and let's give it a margin top of 30 pixels. All right, something like this. Let's check. Okay, I think it's cool. All right, now let's check for the responsiveness. And when we minimize the browser like this, you can see that our project is responsive. Okay, the responsiveness is working perfectly. But in a case that it couldn't work on your side, in a case that you see any scrolling bar at the bottom here like that, then it means your project is not responsive. And what you have to do is you come to your project at the very top, you put in, you specify your body, then you put in overflow. We give it overflow X, okay, overflow X, then we give it heading, okay, so that it will make your project as responsive, okay, it become responsive. All right, now let's check it, and we are on the server side. Okay, now everything is working perfectly. All right, so I think we are through with this section. What is left next is for us to commit our changes and push it. All right, so we give it our commit message. Okay, so we say reviews section completed. We will commit it, and let's come and push it. So you open your terminal and we do git push -u origin main. Hit enter. And friends, we're able to push our project and also finish our review section successfully. All right, so now let's bit on the other one and learn more.